Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to talk about the poem Turmeric, written by K Satchithanandan and prescribed for 4th semester UG students in their English Common Course textbook Spectrum, Literature and Contemporary Issues under Calicut University. Satchithanandan, as we all know, is one of the prominent literary figures in Malayalam literature. He is popular as a poet, critic, editor, and a matchless orator. Satchithanandan started his career as a professor of English and later joined Sahitya Academy as the editor of the literary journal Indian Literature. He later became the secretary of the Central Sahitya Academy. He has 21 collections of poetry in Malayalam, 16 collections of world poetry in translation, and 23 collections of critical essays and interviews. Some of his famous works include Five Sons, which was published in 1971, The Song of the Self, published in 1974, When the Poet Writes, published in 1979, Changing House, 1988, and The Poet as Buddha, published in 1992. His writings are noted for his social commitment. Most of his writings are in favor of secularism, human rights, and environmental conservation. He has received lots of awards and recognitions, which include a knighthood from the government of Italy, Dante Medal from the Dante Institute, Ravenna and the Indian-Poland Friendship Medal from the government of Poland, and 4 Kendra Sahitya Academy Awards. Now, let's have a small introduction of the poem Turmeric, originally written in Malayalam under the title Manjar and later translated into English under the title Turmeric. The poem is a vehement criticism of globalization. Globalization, which started with an intention to establish the concept of global village, has turned out to be a tool of exploitation in the hands of corporates and capitalist nations. Globalization has no humane or cultural considerations. The multinational companies and corporates considers third world nations either as possible markets or as rich sources of spices and natural resources. For imposing their market strategies on third world nations, they started destroying our cultural values and beliefs. Gradually, it became another mode of colonization. Survival of the fittest was the unwritten motto of globalization. As a result, poor became poorer and the rich became richer. Due to the neo-colonial trade rules, the poor third world farmers lost their rights to cultivate and sell many a number of crops including basmati rice, turmeric, potato, etc., which they were cultivating for generations. Using the new trade rules like intellectual property rights and patent laws, the imperial corporates strengthened their control over poor farmers. Thus, things like turmeric that reached Europe from India are now owned by the West. For them, it is only a cosmetic cream. But for us, turmeric is very much connected with our culture, tradition, religious beliefs, and even our history. The poem Turmeric discusses the theme of globalization in connection with Kerala's cultural tradition and history. Since having many medicinal properties, turmeric was always dear and precious to people across the globe. For Keralites, turmeric was very much connected to our culture, but globalization had its eyes only on the medicinal and beauty enhancement qualities of turmeric. The text of the poem is quite untranslatable. The imagery and the regional words used in the poem are culture specific, which can't be translated into another language without losing its real flavor. The people outside Kerala won't understand the cultural and historical significance of the words used in the poem like Kavu, Unniyarcha, Amrit, Saugandhigam, Nagaraja, Vel, etc. So for a better understanding, I am using both English and Malayalam lines together for the analysis of the poem. The poet begins the poem by addressing turmeric as Unniyarcha of the subsoil. Unniyarcha, a courageous war heroine of North Kerala ballads known as Vadakkan Pattugal, was admired by all. Here it means that turmeric also was one of the heroines of Kerala in ancient days, as it has got an elite position among all other spices. The gold smuggled beneath the skin means the golden yellowish color of turmeric. The texture of turmeric looks like the beautiful shoes of the princess, as it is believed that some magician with his magical power transformed a beautiful golden feet to the plant. In these lines, the poet talks about the role of turmeric in religious rituals. Turmeric provides bright color to the holy designs on courtyards drawn to welcome God. Since turmeric is used in Hindu rituals to please Naga or snake, we can always see the turmeric powder all along the path of sacred groves. It is believed that Nagaraja or the serpent-king take turmeric to become immortal. The turmeric is also used by women to smear on their faces as a cosmetic before taking bath, which provides a beautiful shining on their moist faces after the bath. Later, poet says that the dancing oracle used to tone their forehead in divine frenzy, and the moment they apply turmeric in the wound, it heals suddenly without leaving a mark. Similar thing happens while piercing the cheeks to worship Lord Muruga. While applying turmeric powder on their cheeks, they really feel a tender touch of the earth on their faces. It shows the medicinal as well as the magical healing properties of turmeric. These lines show the ritualistic importance of turmeric in the tradition of Kerala. We also use turmeric as an antidote of poison and for several other medicinal purposes. Then the poet explains the inevitable role of turmeric in cooking. Turmeric is an essential ingredient of almost all food items in South India. The scent and color of turmeric add a special taste to our food. It also destroys the toxins from food. Turmeric appears in almost all spheres of our life. In labor room, bridal chamber, and in death rites, turmeric appears in different roles for different purposes. In the closing couplet, poet says that all these cultural, ritualistic, medicinal properties of turmeric is now trapped in tubes and sold in supermarket as a mere cosmetic. In the closing couplet, poet says that all these cultural, ritualistic, medicinal properties of turmeric is now trapped in tubes and sold in supermarket as a mere cosmetic product. And globalization ruined all the good days of turmeric. Globalization, though offered a global reach for turmeric, we are now ignorant about its cultural importance, and it becomes a ready-made product with artificial preservatives and color, thereby losing old pride and dignity of turmeric.